everyone. Welcome back to Besties, Books, and Brews. It's been a while, but we're back. And today we are going to be reviewing one of, I guess, some of our favorites, some of our not favorite, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So without further ado, Alyssa, take it away.
All right, cool. So we just want to announce first and foremost that this review will contain spoilers. Iron Flame is the second book in the Empyrean series, so it's going to be really hard to talk about this book without giving away spoilers from the first one, because Iron Flame picks up right where Fourth Wing left off. So Violet and Xaden and crew that kind of got stranded, was it Icebane or Eratia? I can't remember. One of
Eratia.
the 8 towns. Okay, there you go. They were there after the attack in the last book, and now they have the decision to make if they are going to go back to Biscayeth, if it's safe for them to go back there, or if they're going to stay where they are. So they do end up going back to the school, where we do meet a new asshole teacher, and he will if you are a Harry Potter fan, he will remind you of Umbridge. Like, that's 100%. What I kept thinking the whole time he was in this book. We get to meet the Griffin Riders, which we have heard of in Fourth Wing. What else do we have? Okay, and Darna is healing, so she's got like little adolescent attitude throughout this book.
Sassy.
Xaden has graduated in this book, so him and Violet are apart because he does get assigned, but that causes troubles for Taryn and Scale. So Violet and Xaden do have privileges to go and see each other. I think it was like every other weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, technically.
So there are some trials and tribulations with that. And I guess on that note, what did everybody rate this book?
Okay, 4. So 4, and Spice, I gave it I want to say like 3.5, 4-ish.
You can go, Lori.
All right, so I gave it a 4, and I gave the Spice a 3, mainly because it was just not enough for my liking.
So I rated it a 4.5, and there wasn't enough spice, but the spice was significantly better. So I'm leaning more towards the spice that was there was a 4 for me.
I am the odd man out here. I gave it a 3, but honestly, like, I've had some time since reading it, and I probably would rate it closer to a 2.5 at this point.
Whoa!
And, I gave it 2 chili peppers, because you guys know I rate it based on frequency of spice, and there was not a whole lot in this book.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have to agree.
So I don't remember where the spice started here. So let me find my tab. Give me 1 second.
I just felt like the spice it was building up. Like there was a lot of tension, there was a lot of fighting, more fighting than the first book. And when it did get to the spice, it was good, but it wasn't to the point of my liking.
I know. I need more. Lieutenant Zaddy.
Yeah.
Like Lieutenant Zaddy. Hi.
He can do so much more.
Yeah.
And he was not at his full potential in this book.
Mm-hmm. We want more. Mm-hmm. We want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spice did not start until page 249.
Yeah, it took a while.
It was chapter 27, and there were only 3 scenes in this book. This was a long book.
It was.
Yeah. It was over 600 pages, and there were only 3 scenes. So that's why I gave it a 2, because that's just not enough.
I agree. I have to agree with you. I mean, like I said, it was the scene was good, like, you know, but it did take a long time to get there, and it was not long enough for me, and it was not to its full potential.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Rebecca Yarros, we want more.
Lots more.
Give us more sex.
And earlier. Like,
instant spice, please. Book 3.
So why did you guys rate it the way that you rated it?
Violet got on my last fucking nerve in this book. Like, the fighting between her and Xaden in this book was just, oh my God. I literally wanted to throw the book. Like, every time they got it was like, for them being apart for so long, it was like for them to miss each other, not to be fighting all the goddamn time. And then when they were together, it was always something, and it was always like, you're not telling me something, or you're not telling me the truth, or why can't you just shut the fuck up and suck his dick? Like, well, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, that miscommunication trope.
it was killing me,
and it was repetitive.
It was,
Yeah.
and that fucking that teacher. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I have never in my life hated someone as much as I hated him. Like, he got what he deserved, and maybe I think he deserved even worse, but that was another thing. It was like Violet got the shit end of the stick like every fucking time. It was like when you think something couldn't go worse, it just got worse. Like, I couldn't. I felt so bad for her, but then she also got on my fucking nerves.
Okay, so, but didn't you rate it 4 stars?
I did.
So what did you like about it? Like, where did that rating come from? All I heard was bad stuff so far.
I mean, as far as like the actual writing of the book, I like the writing of the book. I like the secretive things that were in there that we're gonna get into. Like, for example, I have a feeling that Dane is Venom. I don't know if
don't you dare steal my theory that I
no we spoke about that, and
but I was the one that gave the chapters and the pages, so I will talk about.
Tell me the chapters of the page,
ma'am.
Do you want me to bring up the chat because I have it right here?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
I even have them tabbed in my book with the
me and Lori are like
where the breath stinks. I was the one that told you the pages with his breath stinking.
You didn't tell me the pages, but besides the fact. Anyway, like that, there was just things in there that it's like, okay, so what is going to happen in book 3? So it's like, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. There were things in there that were pretty interesting.
So yeah, I'll save my negativity for the end.
So I loved the siblings back together. I just thought they were so cute together. Fighting together, fighting with each other. Like, that was so cute. I loved the Iron Squad group just growing as characters, growing together, their friendship. Again, like, a scene that I had loved from Fourth Wing was when they all had to work together using their different signets to steal the thing from her mom's office. And this time when they did that for the library, and they had Jacinia too, love Jacinia, added her. Okay, her and Sawyer are so cute too. I loved all that. I love, even though Xaden was gaslighty and, you know, he's not perfect, I just love him. Everything he said to her, other than the gaslighty stuff, I was like, I just love it. He's so romantic. I did hate the ex-girlfriend trope too. Hate. Love that she got a redemption. Hated that though. Hated the Umbridge trope. Hated the ex-girlfriend trope. The miscommunication trope. But I just loved how it set everything up. Taryn and Darna, love them. The banter, obsessed. I'm obsessed. And I loved Dane's kind of redemption so far, because, you know, I liked Dane from the first one, and I liked her mom's redemption too.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a big one for me too.
Yeah, and I loved learning about the Griffin Raiders, and like, something I thought that was amazing was how when Violet asks Marin, a Griffin Raider, about their conscription day, and she's like, oh, so you just like fall off, like what happens to the bodies? And she's like, what do you mean you just swim to the shore? Like, we don't kill people like you do. Like, it was very eye-opening that like Basquiat is kind of really violent. That's not the way to do anything. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be done that way. So I loved all that. I loved them working together. That's what I liked.
Yeah, you did make very good points. And I will say I love that Sawyer was trying to learn sign language for Titania. That was so cute.
Yes, I loved it. And Riddick is hilarious. Oh, and then of course I loved our Liam coming back.
Yes.
In, you know, a different way.
Coming back.
Yeah.
Or maybe he really was coming. Who knows?
All right. So I gave it 4 stars, but I have very specific like deduction percentages for this.
Of course.
Love it.
I'm excited to hear this.
So there was a negative 30, 0.30, or however you want to say it, a negative 30 because I felt like they were not at school long enough. Like, I really
Mm.
wanted them. I feel like they could have done so much more at the school, and I felt like it was too quick that they left. And I felt like there were certain parts of the book after the school that just kind of dragged a little bit. And I feel like if they would have extended the school parts and then kind of like minimized that part, I think it would have flowed a little bit more. So, so -30 for that. -40
Fair.
because Violet was annoying. And while I do agree with Nikki, my my reasoning for Violet was because I absolutely loved her as a character in the first book. Like, I felt like she was very strong. She was like, well, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I can do this. And I feel like in this book, she was very like self-doubt, and there was no type of confidence that she had. And I mean, like, she started at one point, I think I got annoyed because she just started blaming herself for everything. It's like, you know, these kids are walking up the mountain that they voluntarily said, we know what's going to happen. We know what could happen. And then somebody breaks an ankle. She's like, oh my God, it's my fault. I did this to them. And I'm like, bitch, come on, pull your panties up, okay?
Yep.
Like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
So, and I think that just like, that was annoying. Like, the whole book, it's, this is my fault. This is my fault. This is all my fault. And everybody's like, shut it. Like, you got us together. We're doing this. And she's like, oh, but this is my fault. This is my fault. This should have, and it's just like, it reminded me a lot of Harry Potter in the 5th book, because I hated him in that book too.
Oh, when he was basically like, woe is me. Everything was like, oh.
Woe is me. And it's nobody's telling me the truth. And it's like, because there's a reason. And instead of stopping and saying, okay, why? And the thing, that's another thing. There was actually one part of the book where she's like, I understand why Xaden is not telling me things because I'm not doing the same thing with my best friend.
Exactly.
But she's like, but he's still not telling me things. And he says he loves me. And I'm like, you just literally sat there and said, like, you understand why he's doing it because you're doing it to your best friend.
Yep.
But it's like, you're still giving him shit about it. So
True.
That just really annoyed me.
Yeah, good points.
So, all right. -10 because the Griffin died. And honestly, when he died,
yes.
that was the only time in the book that I actually cried. Like, I was like, not the Griffin.
I know, that's true. It's like Liam.
It hits different when it's an animal.
Yeah.
It does, and I think when I lost it, like, one of the lines that the other Griffin said was like, "You can let go now." I was like, no. I was like, way to kill me, man.
I don't know. This is not funny, but it was funny the way that you said no, because it sounded like you were falling down the cliff, and that's kind of how the Griffin died.
All right. So -10
got 20% left.
-10 because you know what happened with Xaden. While I was ready, like, I was like furious and like ready to throw the book, but then at the same time I was like, I was expecting this the whole book.
You were?
Yes, I
really?
yes. I don't know why, but I was like, I just had a feeling. I like had this huge feeling. I don't know if it was because of her dreams or something, or there was some part of the book where something happened and I was like, he's going to turn Venom. Either that or they're going to want him, they're going to kidnap him, they're going to force it, something. But he's going to turn eventually. I didn't think it would be like, you know, in this book, but hey, it is what it is. And then finally, the last 10, because and honestly, this is more of a me thing rather than a book thing. And because a lot of the book, there were times where it was very, very military strategy heavy. And I would get lost and confused and I would find myself having to reread certain things over because I'm like, wait, what's the plan here? So, yeah.
So those were the things that you did. That was 100% of why you did not like it. Did you give
what did you like?
That was okay. So that's why I added the 0.30 because I wasn't sure. But this is like the last 1%. So yeah, I guess you could say like a 0.30%. Anyway, so what I loved the friendships. Like, I loved how close they were, and I loved the fact that they were, even though it was like pulling teeth, but towards the end they were very open to like sharing their group with like the Griffin
Mm-hmm.
Riders and
Yeah.
like having them involved. And I did love the fact that you now had all the siblings together. I did love the mom's redemption, but I honestly did not cry when she kicked the bucket because
I
I'm just
didn't
like,
either.
too little, too late,
I agree.
and
Yeah.
I did not connect with her. Um, so yeah, and I do love Zayden and I love Violet, and I'm hoping that their relationship, is better in the next book because I hope she's better in the next book. But yeah.
So I agree with you guys on all the things that you do like as far as the friendships and like I love that we got to see Liam and now that Sarah brought it up, I'm really happy about Sawyer and Jasenia. However, this book just had so much bad stuff happening in it. And I don't know about you guys, but I read to escape the shitty reality that we have most times. So it was like hard to get through this book because it was just nothing but bad the whole time. Like they went back to the school. We met Varish really quickly and he was like an asshole to her right away. Um this guy was like I said like Umbridge but times 100, like to the point where he straight up tortured her. By the way, how is torture allowed in a school? Okay, let's
I mean,
back
this is
up
a this,
here.
this is a school that also kills
Right.
their students.
No,
And like,
no, like, well, let me just back up here. There is a class where it's the second year of Biscayeth where the students go through this like torture simulation where like the teachers can torture the students. Like they capture them and simulate if they were captured, like, and somebody is torturing you for information. And they were like, you can die in this class. But, like, why? It's the teachers conducting this. So, like, at a certain point, why wouldn't they be like, all right, we're on the brink of death. Let's stop this from happening? Like, it's not
True.
like an actual enemy conducting this torture. It's a teacher that understands what the limit is. So, why is that even a possibility to kill your own students?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing it as a military type of training, I mean, I don't
But
know
how
if
does
that's
that help
if
them by
they're
killing?
if they're doing it as a military training, like let's say, for example, like the Navy SEALs, they're special ops. They do that to that point because there
Do they
are
kill
people
them though?
there are people that break. So they train to the point where you cannot break. So if you break, things happen.
Wouldn't they just like release you from it? I don't. Anyway, I digress. Let's not get into real life military. um. Anyway, after the whole Varys shit is wrapped up, what do? Let's get introduced to an ex-girlfriend. Let's add in a jealousy on top of everything else. I couldn't stand Kat. I could not fucking stand that girl. There was a point that I was like, there's nothing she can do that's gonna make me like her. Towards the end, I was like, what? I was ambivalent towards her. Whatever. Like she's there. She might help. We'll see. Violet and Xaden in this book. My God, we all know I cannot stand miscommunication, but the whole like I can't tell you information, like straight up withholding it. She's upset about it. He's gaslighting her, but then the constant like rumination over why won't he tell me? It was just getting so old. By the time that they actually had sex, I was like, oh yay, they're having sex. Like, I mean, it was just, I don't know. They just both of them just annoyed me in this
You were
book.
just
Like,
over it by that point.
yeah, it was just I don't know. Like I said, there was so much bad happening that when like the small little good things happened, it was like hard to even enjoy it because I was so like just like stressed from it.
Even the
Yeah.
throne scene, my woman, my chair.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, it was good. I'm not saying the spice was bad. I'm just saying like that it's like right after the spicy thing, they went right back to like her being upset about him not giving her information. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, this resolved it. It was like, yay, we had sex. Okay, I still don't trust you. Like it was I don't know, it was just too much. Like, I get it. I would have understood it for maybe, let's say, 200 pages. It went on for the whole book. We didn't need
That it did.
the
That
whole
it
book.
did.
So
It did.
it's funny because what I wrote in my Goodreads review about it was, will I continue reading this series? Yes. Like, did I like this book? Definitely not as much as Fourth Wing. Will I continue read it? Yes, with the caveat that the next book is not just full of nothing but bad happening. Like, I don't want to read 2 straight books of just bad shit happening, because that's like not enjoyable at all. I loved the first book. This one was anyway, but I do want to, what Nikki was talking about, I don't think Dane is venom, but I think his dragon, something happened to it that I think maybe his dad did, because we know his dad is like part of that, guys, because his dad was the one that like knew about where they were being sent for that, not drill, what the hell did they call it at the last book?
Yeah.
I know what it is. I just
forget.
His dad knew about it. So like, we know Dane's dad is not a good guy. So on page 581, there is a quote that says, yes, I shout as the creature tumbles from the sky, but my joy is short-lived as its counterpart, complete with dark wielder, surges forward, opening its jaws to reveal rotten teeth and a green glow in its throat. So that's describing the wyvern. What the fuck word did I just say? Describing the wyvern and about its rotten teeth and how gross it is. So back on page 69, Hickety. I am a child at heart. So back when they first got to Basgiath and Dane was like doing his showboating where he was trying to be Xaden up on the podium where he's given his like speech, whatever, and all the dragons are behind them, right? So it says, Cath digs his red claws into the masonry and leans over Dane's head, swinging his sword tail behind him in a serpentine motion as he blows a hot breath of steam over the crowd that sours my stomach. Dane really needs to check Cath's teeth because there has to be a bone stuck in there decaying or something, in italics. None of the other dragons, when they talk about their breath, never says anything about it smelling, only that it's hot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
I will die on this hill that something is wrong with Dane's dragon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe his dad did something.
What do you guys think Violet's second signet is?
I have no idea, but you guys know I'm not good at that. Like, I didn't see Xaden's coming. I don't know what Violet's.
I don't know what what's her name?
Oh, Violet's.
Violet's second signet is, but from like reading different theories, people were saying Iron Flame is her second signet, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, but also, okay, that's another thing, like what you guys were saying, how it was annoying with Violet, where she's like, I understand, but then I don't. But then when she learned what his second signet was, like, she wasn't like, oh, I kind of feel like a bitch, like
her reaction made no sense.
Oh no, because then she was like, oh, are you using the signet on me now? Are you using it on me now? And it's just like,
yeah. And listen, I can understand being paranoid and I understand ruminating thoughts, but could have been cut down.
It got too much. Oh, and by the way, can we talk about the fact that even though I saw it coming, I hated the fact that Jack was back, and
yes!
I knew that he did not.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you guys called it. In our, we have it, proof of it.
You don't see him die; he's not dead.
Yeah, because I was like, can we celebrate? You guys are like, we probably shouldn't celebrate. I'm like, really? Like, you guys were right.
I love your optimism, though.
Like, oh no.
And I didn't trust him at all.
Right? It was weird. It was weird. And then I felt so bad for Nolan, who had to be like wasting his time doing that to bring him back when
but then fuck Nolan at the end. Fuck him.
Yeah. I know. He just was good. Oh.
Yeah, he lost all his good points when he helped Barish fucking torture her.
Basically.
Yeah.
So my main reasoning why I think Dane is venom is, one, because of his dragon, and two, because Jack says that he wasn't the only one in Basgiath that is venom.
But so do you think Dane is because of his dragon, or just like you just don't like Dane, so you think he's feminine?
No, I mean, I didn't like Dane in the first book, and then he started, I started warming up to him again. But then I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it has something to do. I don't know if maybe his father like made him venom and it has something to do with the dragon, or maybe it has nothing to do with the dragon. But when Jack did say that he wasn't the only venom in Basgiath, I was like, it has to be Dane. It has to be. There is.
Man, I don't know, because I feel like, she gave him that redemption, right? Like, I feel like, why go through the redemption and then be like, just kidding, he's venom.
I mean, why does Rebecca do anything in her books?
True. Why did you give us the ending to this book? Why?
I know.
I like the theory that she can see the dead.
Oh,
and
with
that's how
Liam?
she was seeing Liam. But I've seen like theories that, okay, I have none of my own as far as what Violet's signet is. I'm usually really good about context clues and stuff. And I know Rebecca said like it was in this book, but like I didn't think anything was glaringly obvious aside from the Liam thing, because how else is she seeing a man who's dead? But I do like, I've seen theories that like she can see the dead and her dad maybe knows a cure for the venom, and so she can like see her dad at some point.
So funny that you brought that up. Alyssa actually brought up a really good point, and I want to know what you guys think. Alyssa said, yes, she said, what if the sage who wants her is her dad?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yes, I have
you
to
told me
find
that too. Yeah, that's crazy, because obviously there's something with the sage, like, and why they want Violet. Like, there's something.
I have like one chapter where I was like writing notes on it, and then I just kept going because I was like, oh, what if this is happening?
So then I was telling Alyssa, I was like, I think that Violet is gonna end up creating the antidote to create the venom cure. So that way she can cure her dad, which is the sage, and Xaden.
Oh, I hope so.
I mean, I'm sure Xaden is gonna get cured some way, somehow. Like,
of course,
like,
of course,
he better.
Either that, or they're somehow gonna make Venom be able to like be human again, like give them their humanity back.
Yeah.
So then another theory that I saw is that, so you know how Violet is always complaining that Xaden is like hiding things from her. And if you notice in the book, he's always telling her, well, if there's anything you want to know, just ask me. So basically they're saying like Xaden can't outright tell her things. Like he has to be asked things. So I don't know if that has to do with his signet or whatever the case may be, but it's like she has to ask him questions in order for him to answer it. He can't just outright give answers.
I feel like that was him just being gaslighty.
Yeah, because I feel like she's asked questions and he's like, yeah, I can't tell you.
This was probably can't see this.
And then the last theory that I saw.
Oh, there it is. You see all my notes here?
Yeah.
Making in and out.
It's cute.
The last theory that I saw was that Violet is part venom, or her mother was touched by a venom while pregnant, the same way Dane has gray handprints on his arm from Jack trying to drain him. A venom tried to drain her mother, but ended up targeting Violet in utero by accident, hence her silver hair.
That's actually something I have in my book. I had not seen a theory on this, so I do heavily agree with that one, because these were my notes in here after I got to I was on page 585. Because the Dark Wielder had said to her, "You're the one he wants." So that's what led me to be like, my first question was, is the sage who wants Violet her dad? And then I said, did her dad turn venom to save her mom, / Violet while she was pregnant, but accidentally drained her, which is why Violet's hair has the gray. And I put, this would explain the silver hair / light eyes and the dream connection that she has to him.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's
I
cool.
clearly do not think these things through when I'm reading.
Me neither.
Like I'm over here
Tell me
like
everything.
exactly because I'm over here like, oh, he just really wants her because of the fact that she's so powerful and she could just, be a
That could be
powerful,
it.
evil venom. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, that could be it too. This could be me way overthinking while I'm reading.
no, but that's
Yeah,
good that
that
like
is.
you've picked out those little itty bitty clues because that's the stuff that stories are made from.
Mhm.
I will say that the bad breath thing, I was even surprised with myself for remembering like 500 pages prior that she said that Cass's breath smelled bad.
Yeah,
Right when I
it's
read that, I was
amazing.
like, oh my god, she said his breath smelled bad in the beginning.
See, I don't remember stuff like that. Like Sarah's talking about her review. I'm like, who are these people? Like, did we read the same book? Like, I know I'm like that person that's friends with that one and that one, the one with that one. Like I forgot names. I forgot places. Like, I think at one point I forgot Violet's name talking to you ladies, and I'm just like, wait, what's her face? The girl.
The main character.
Exactly. I have the worst memory ever.
Listen,
But you had a whole
I
system.
understand it. Yes.
Right, a whole point system. Like
You got it up
percentage
to
and everything.
100%, so we're good. You appeased my numbers brain with that.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, I like that everyone was friends.
How did everyone feel about Liam's sister?
Oh, Sloane.
I mean, I
Oh.
understood
Yeah.
her. I feel like because Violet was pissing me off, I was like, yeah, girl, get it. Like, but like at the same time, it obviously was not Violet's fault that Liam was dead. So like that sucked.
Yeah.
See, but
Yeah.
that was another instance in where she kept pissing me off because she's like, "Oh my god, it's my fault about Liam." I'm like, "No, it really fucking wasn't." Like, stop.
Right.
And then she's like, "She has every right to want to kill me. I'd want to kill me. Like, it's all my fault." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Bitch,
She
if
was
you don't shut the fuck
self-deprecating,
up.
yeah.
Right. She really was.
Actually, it was Zayden's fault because he's the one that told Liam to watch out for her. It had nothing to do with Violet. She actually told him to stop. So
Exactly.
True.
So yeah,
Yeah.
another instance where Violet was like,
yeah, she was
really
very
getting on my
draining.
nerves.
She was very draining, this book.
Speaking of character's name, what the hell was Liam's sister's name?
Sloane.
Sloane.
Did somebody already say that?
Yeah, I did.
That's the only reason why I know, because everybody said it before, just like 2 seconds ago.
My brain heard what it wanted to hear, and it wasn't the name. I heard Liam's sister, and that was it.
I did get pissed off though when Liam brought Violet to wherever that place was, to Kat's. I think were right? It was Kat's house, and then she found out
When
that was
Liam brought her there?
I'm sorry, fucking Zayden. We over here talking about Liam. When Zayden brought Violet there, and then she finds out that was his freaking fiance. I was like, yo,
Give a girl a heads up.
the rage that I would have felt, I would have destroyed that whole motherfucking house. Because first you're
And
giving
then
me
not
attitude.
giving her answers about it too.
Yeah, no, I would have. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a lot better than me because I would have destroyed everything in that motherfucker. Everyone and everything would have gotten it.
Especially if you had that lightning wielding power.
Yes, yes. Everyone would have just evaporated.
Speaking of people who thought other people could get it, did we love Andarna and like what she's
God,
becoming?
Love
Look,
her.
as someone who lives with a teenager, I did not need to go through all of that through the whole book.
She was having flashes. She was having flashes. She was like,
it was like that is exactly how a teenager acts, let me tell you.
I will say Andarna was like literally my favorite part of this book.
She really was,
and Cairn, I just love their
banter and
I love the
everything back
banter.
and forth. Yes, I love it.
Whenever Andarna would wake up and just like give her like attitude out of nowhere, oh, it was so funny.
So Lori, is it like that waking Ari up in the morning?
Oh yeah, I do like it's like oh good morning Arya. I'm like, oh I'm sorry. Sorry. Just, yeah, no.
So that was accurate.
Very accurate. Very accurate.
In her defense, I would probably have set somebody too if they woke me up. in the morning.
But it's not even me waking her up. It's literally her
It's just
waking up
anything.
at like
You
2
look
o'clock,
at them in the wrong way, and
2
it's like
o'clock in the afternoon, and she comes out. I'm like, oh, hey.
Damn, she wakes up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Man, do you guys remember when you could sleep that late?
Those days,
Like,
yeah.
even if I go to sleep at 2 in the morning, I would still be waking up at 7 a.m. Like, my
so
body won't let me sleep past that.
we never. Well, at least me
My body could let me sleep that long. I just don't get to.
ever.
Ever.
Do you want an Andarna nap for months and months?
Yes. Yes.
I would appreciate that very
All
much.
mommies deserve that. Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. I think we should try to get one of those. Find a cave and just a mommy cave, eternal cave.
Yes.
For the mommies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That should be a thing.
Yep.
So I was looking at Sarah's questions. Yeah.
Oh, did I make any?
Yeah, you did. You had 3 questions on here. Well, one of them was, what did you think Violet's second signet was?
Oh, yeah.
So did anybody else have any theories on what her signet is?
Probably something that's very rare that hasn't been seen for like, hundreds of years, just like
hundreds of
everything
thousands
else
of years.
just like everything else that like pops up in her.
I feel like once we see it, we're gonna be like, oh,
Really?
duh,
Like that's it?
that's
Oh
what
my
it
god.
was.
True.
I'm excited to see what it is. That is
So am
something
I.
I'm very much looking forward to in the next book. Because now I'm like, well, shit. But like, I feel like she should even have 3 because she's got 2 dragons.
But that's another thing that I've heard
Xaden
as
has
well.
2. What was the reason why Xaden has 2?
Because the dragon was attached to like one of his family members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe she wouldn't have 3. That was me just being like optimistic for her.
Oh, look, I remember something.
Yeah. Good job. The other question was, what are your thoughts on Dane now that he's had somewhat of a redemption?
I like Dane, but I don't want to like him because I have a feeling that he's gonna go back to being an asshole.
I don't know. I'm happy he got a redemption. I did not like him. However, I do think if there was a way he was gonna come back, killing her oppressor was it. I hope he's not Venom. I feel like he's not, but I do think his dragon is fucked.
I think he's gonna fuck up. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I think Dane is gonna be an asshole.
I still don't trust him 100%, mainly because like he really flipped his switch a little too fast for my liking. Like he went from always by the book no matter what to like, yeah, I'm just gonna kill this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, but maybe he saw shit hit in the fan. He was like, this guy isn't really gonna be a thing, like.
Or maybe he saw him. Maybe he saw him exposing him for what he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You guys know.
I don't know. I feel like this was like an opportunity for him. Like, hey, let me get behind enemy lines. This is my chance.
I don't.
The scene
I want to like him, but I don't.
Was weird where he was, like going along with Varish, and like I thought for sure he was gonna like kill her or something right there. But you guys know I did not like Dane from like the first time he spoke in the first book. And I don't know, I'm not getting those vibes from him anymore, so we'll see. Sarah, what are your thoughts on Dane?
I like him, so.
You're so optimistic and positive. I love
it. She is. I wish I could be like Sarah.
When I like the book, yeah. When I don't like it, no.
We need to review a book Sarah doesn't like.
Well, we already did one, Accidental Attachment.
We all didn't like that one.
Yeah.
we all didn't like that.
Their new book came out. I want to read it because I want to be like, okay, that was a one-off because like I do love their other books.
Oh, so. I know. I love everything else.
Yeah. So I want to read their new one. It seemed like good. I can't remember what it was about, but I remember reading it and I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Look, Accidental Attachment is one of the ones that was ruining my flood, and I am in no rush to like replace that
replace it. Yeah. Fair.
I'm good.
Yeah.
It just soaked up the water that it needed to.
And the coven was also in there too.
And that one soaked up the water that it needed to.
I didn't like that either. Yeah, that's true. I hated that one.
The last question that we had is, do you have any theories for book 3 of the Empyrean series? Any ones that we haven't already talked about, I guess.
I just think she's gonna find out the Sage is her dad. I think she's gonna end up creating some kind of potion when she finds out her man is gonna potentially die.
So when we say the Sage is her dad, I have 2 options for this.
Mm-hmm.
1, do we think it's the dad that she knows? The one that she thinks died? Is that now the sage? Or is the dad that she knows not actually her dad, and the sage is somebody that she does not know?
Oh,
Good
right, like her bio dad, but not
question.
So
not
why would you
scribe.
think that though? Like what in the series has led you to that?
So I just have this in my mind. Okay, the sage is her dad because of that quote about he really wants to see you. Whatever the hell the quote was that I read out earlier. I don't know. It could go one of two ways, that she was with whatever her bio dad is, and like we said, he had to like go to the dark side in order to like save her while she was pregnant, and then maybe things took a turn, and he like the power kind of like overtook him, and then he just like kept going with it and ended up like leaving her, and then the dad that she knows and loves to this day was kind of like a step-in father, I guess, after that. Like maybe she met him after that. Or similarly, the dad that she knows now, like I don't know, maybe he had to turn venom, but I feel like in that scenario his venominess would have had to happen really fast, because like to be the sage he would have had to like progress in power like super, because he had only died like however many years prior, right? Like she was like older when it happened.
She was older.
So she could like kind of see this happening. So I feel like if it is one of the two scenarios, it's probably like the dad that she knows is not actually her dad, and the sage is her dad, like she's not actually met him.
So by that logic, because I actually like that theory. So what if it was something along the lines of when her mother was pregnant, they already knew that the baby was not 100% healthy, and the father was panicking, and let's say he was a healer because her brother's a healer, right? And so he felt like his regular healing power was not enough and he needed more power. So he took from the earth, which is what the venom do, and which is what turns them venom. And then that's how that happened. Then
that's interesting too.
Speaking of which, did you see that correspondence at the top of the page from her mom?
Yes, I have that saved.
Because it goes along with what you're saying, Lori, that they did know, and that she was trying to find a cure to the venom. Now I can't fucking oh, here it says, it's on page 620. It says, "We have tried every method we know of as you requested. There is no cure. There is only control." And it says, "A missive from Lieutenant Colonel Nolan Colbercy to General Lilith Sorengale." So they were trying to find a cure. So I agree that they did know while she was pregnant, and I think he was trying to like heal her and was like pulling from the earth to do it, and maybe just let the power kind of like get away with him, which is what I'm worried about happening to Xaden. Because what happened at the end where like she found out and then she was just like in bed with him, I was like, wait. So she
that was a weird transition, by the way.
It was.
She like freaked out when she found out his second signet, but then I guess when he's venom, she's cool with it. Like I'm
yeah. Like that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
no problem.
For a minute there, I thought
I had to reread that a few times. Like
stuck together. I'm like, wait, what? She
just
found out he was venom, and now they're sleeping. Like, huh?
Yeah, when he like woke up next to her and then he was walking through the halls, I was like, oh, he's probably dreaming right now. Like, there's no way this is like, she was like, you know what? Found out you're venom. Let's go to bed. We're good.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't know. That was very weird. But I am worried about something like that happening where he is now venom because he felt that was the only way he could save her. And now what if he gets like addicted to that power? And he already did say in that last chapter, like he felt the power drawing him in. So like, I don't know, like is Xaden gonna go dark side like fully before they're able to find a cure for him? And if so, like what's it gonna take for them to bring him back?
Of course he's gonna go fully to the dark
absolutely.
side.
And that's where Violet is gonna step in and create the fucking remedy for fucking venom.
Okay. Let's hope. Also, one more thing about her mom, though, that I had highlighted at the like end, at the whatever this thing is at the top. It says, most generals dream of dying in service to their kingdom, but you know me better than that, my love. When I fall, it will be for one reason only, to protect our children. And it says, recovered unsent correspondence of General Lilith Sorgnail. Now, like, if her hubby was truly, like, in the ground, why is she writing letters?
Right.
And
but if she didn't
who's
send it
it?
yet, yeah, who's she saying, my love, I'll protect our children? Like,
And why doesn't it say who she sent it to?
Exactly.
When all the other correspondence says who it went to.
Oh, that's true.
Huh.
Rebecca, I
think we have something going on here.
I think we're on to something.
Yes.
God,
Besties out there in the audience, what do you think? What do you think? We want to hear what you have to say.
Yep.
That should be interesting. I want to see what everyone out there has to say, or even if they even pick that up.
Yeah, I'd love to
very
hear
interesting.
I honestly love watching the theory videos because like I'm the same way about like normally little things like I'm like like I'm kind of just like enjoying it, not really thinking about theories, but like I'm seeing theories people are coming up with and I'm like, shit, that's crazy. It's kind of like some that I've seen with the SJM universe and I'm like, girl, you must be combing through these books with a fine-tooth comb, like back and forth. And I'm like, I love it. I'm here for it. I love to watch them. My brain does not work that way.
Right.
My brain barely works on 10% capacity, so.
Yeah.
And have the time to do
my
that.
My brain cells are on a merry-go-round, just kind of going round and round at this point.
Yeah. Mine are on autopilot. Like, they do what they have to do on a daily basis, and that's about it.
Yeah. All right, well, we're very much looking forward to Rebecca's next book. We know it's probably going to be like another year out, which I'm personally excited about, that she's giving this one more time to write. Like, I know it sucks to wait longer, but I do feel like this story needs more time to flesh out, and I'm excited for it.
And more sex.
Yeah, yes, that too. Like, we
Quicker
can even get
sex.
some venom sex. Like, he's like angry. I'll take it.
Seriously. Like, in the beginning, can we start it off with sex?
Nikki and Lori may not like Divine Rivals. There is literally zero sex in it.
Oh,
I don't mind books that don't have sex, but like we know that
we know what Zaddy can do.
Right. We knew what we know how he can put it down. And he was not putting it down like that in this book. And it was very sad. I was my Puntanga was not happy. So
in Rebecca's defense, she did. I don't think she really intended these books to be like the spice or the romance to be like the core of it. You know what I mean? Like in the first book, it was like a really long time before we got the spice. Also, they were good scenes when we did get them, but like I was kind of expecting. It was like it's like Carissa Broadbent, right? Like I don't go into her books being like, oh, I'm gonna get a ton of spice in it. Do I want more spice? Yes.
Right. Like I mean, but we knew we weren't gonna get a lot of it. But what we were expecting was like explosive, mind blowing sex. And we got
good sex scenes in this book. No,
it was mediocre.
I love them.
It was. I mean, it was good, but I
thought they were good. That's one thing that
not as good as the first ones, though.
At all.
I liked that shower scene.
I like the shower. I like the throne.
Yeah. I don't remember the third. What was the third one? I know I had 3 scenes tabbed, but clearly that one's not really like memorable to me. But I did like the shower scene. The throne one was good too. I like the scenes in this book.
But yeah, we need more Daddy Zayden.
Yeah,
we
give
love
you
us some
really
Daddy Zayden.
Spicy book to read if you want to like tide you over. You want?
I do.
Okay, I'll send you one. Oh, I can give you one that I listened to on audio that was just straight sex. Like there was nothing but literally. I had Sarah, the one that I had you listen to, the girls. Yeah. Like even her voice sounds like sex too. So
yeah.
I need that in my life.
It's called Your Dad Will Do.
I like that. Yes, I will download that.
Okay, it's on Hoopla.
Okay,
right?
Cool.
Was it Hoopla or Libby? Yeah, Hoopla.
Hoopla.
Cool. Your dad, the girl's voice was like, she was like talking to you, like, yeah, she was ready to go too. So anyway, sorry, totally got sidetracked here. So, yeah, that's our review of Iron Flame. And some of us liked it. Some of us liked parts of it. Some of us did not like parts of it, which is totally allowed. Not everybody's gonna like the same books, but in general, the series is a good one. We're looking forward to the next book, whenever that may be, and we're also looking forward to being here next week because we're back. Yeah. We're gonna try to review. The plan is Pucking Wild for next week, but don't come at us if we don't review Pucking Wild.
Because life and shit, right?
Yeah, life and shit. That's a
life and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So buckle up, bookworms. We'll see you next week.
Bye! Don't forget to like and subscribe.